everybody. I'm Jack Hoyer with Garden Gate Magazine, and today I have with us Sherri Ribby, also with Garden Gate Magazine. Hi, Sherri.
Hi, Jack.
And the tour host for our Portland Garden Tour, Gene Rozenboom. Hi, Gene.
Well, hello, Jack and Sherri.
It's good
Hi,
to
Gene.
have you, Gene. So Sherri and I have visited your garden before, and your garden is on the tour. So
Yes.
we're really looking forward to that. And Sherri, you did a video with Gene when we were there.
Yes, it was really fun seeing your garden, Gene. I love it.
And when we were there, Gene, we did a video and a story featuring your Japanese maples and your dwarf conifers. But there's another big part of your garden that was fairly new when we were there, and that should be really rounding into shape. How does that look?
Yeah, so we acquired an empty property next to us a few years back, and we're kind of transforming it into part of our garden. And my focus on that particular garden is very different from the original garden of conifers and Japanese maples. It's got a Dutch wave or a Dutch wave influence as far as perennials and grasses, and it's really changed a lot since you were here a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it should be really filled in for sure. So our tour dates for this Portland tour is July 31st through August 7th. So a little bit later in the season, but plant material should really be looking good at that time of year. Let's just talk about a few of the gardens that we'll visit. We'll hit on some of the highlights. On the first day of tours, a highlight I think is going to be Swan Island Dahlias. I've never been there. Sherri, I don't think you've been there either.
Oh, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Have you ordered dahlias from them?
I have not, but I've seen some that Kristen, one of our colleagues, has ordered, and they were gorgeous.
Yeah. So, Gene, maybe you could speak a little bit. I know you're very familiar with Swan Island Dahlias, so if you could give us a little background, that would be great.
Sure, it's a very exciting place because it is the country's largest dahlia producer. And so it's a farm, and you're just surrounded by dahlias everywhere you look. They have an amazing demonstration garden where they illustrate all of their dahlias that they're growing. And they even have a small section of potential dahlias that might be for the future.
Like
and so they kind of have it.
Trialing some dahlias?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent.
Correct. And so you can walk around on grass paths. It's very nice to walk around. The plants are well labeled. You know exactly what you're looking at. Mm-hmm. We're there on the first day of the Dahlia Festival, and so they'll have some live music, and they have food vendors, and it'll be a very festive atmosphere and very colorful.
Yeah, excellent. So the next day, a garden that I've been to is the Oregon Garden. It's a 130-acre botanical garden near Silverton. I had been there quite a few years ago, but I had really not seen anything quite like it. And like we stayed real close to the property, and we could visit it any time of the day. It was just, I thought it was really outstanding. I think our guests will really enjoy it.
The garden has a lot of unusual plants. They have a lot of different sections. They have a rose section. They have a children's garden. The biggest section at the Oregon Garden is their conifer display. And it's really displayed in a beautiful way. You really go there and you go, oh, I want that plant. I want this plant. And it's really good for inspiration. And
well, we'll get an introduction at these gardens too, and they'll kind of describe the gardens. But this particular garden also has a narrated tram tour. So if you wanted to take in the garden on a tram and hear from the Oregon Garden themselves talking about their garden, then you can do that as well. We'll have lunch downtown in downtown Silverton. And then next, we'll have two private gardens, but one in particular that you were really excited about. Or I'm sorry, Sebright Gardens is not a private garden, but because it does have a nursery, right? So Sebright Gardens, yeah.
Yeah, Sebright Gardens is a nursery, but they have 4 acres of landscaping that is a garden that you can just walk through, and it's really well done. They specialize in shade plants. So they have over 100 different types of ferns. They have over 100 different types of hostas,
Wow.
and other shade-loving plants. It's just really exciting to go somewhere where there's such a variety of things for a shade garden, because often we struggle on what to do with a shade garden.
Yeah, right.
That's true.
Um,
That'll be fun.
well, I guess if you're driving the to the tour, you could be able to take some home, I guess, maybe.
You know what? They do mail order. And
Yeah, there you
so
go.
if you see something that you can't live without, then I would say probably most of their business is actually mail order. They have a beautiful catalog, and especially with their hostas, I know they mail out a lot of hostas.
So day 4, we're going to be downtown in Portland, and I know I visited the Japanese garden and the rose garden there. They're really close to each other. You can just walk across the road. They're both beautiful, but like kind of almost the opposite. I think the Japanese garden is lots of foliage and peaceful settings and serene vistas, and then on the other garden, the rose garden, there's just all this amazing color and from all the different flowers and a rainbow of colors. It's just really fun to see all the different types of roses, all the different cultivars. Have you visited their Gene?
So the rose garden, as I may have mentioned to you, has 10,000 different roses. That is a lot of roses. What's really kind of fun, I think, is just to walk in the garden, and the fragrances are just amazing. To be able to smell all of these different roses really is just delightful. And the Japanese garden has a lot of different sections. Even though it's a Japanese garden, it has 8 different styles of Japanese gardens within the 12 acres that they have there on the hilltop.
Okay, so moving on, the next day there's a garden that I don't know about. I don't think Sherri have been there, but you suggested it to us, the Eastman-Griffin garden.
Right. So this garden will be very different than most of the gardens we go to, because it will have a tropical feel to it. Big, bold leaves. They also have some Australian plants along the street where it's a little drier. And so really they have plants that you may not have seen before. Portland, Oregon is in zone 8. And so we are able to grow a lot of interesting plants from Australia or other locations. And they have it all. One of the gentlemen works for a nursery here in town, Big Al's. And the other person has a very interesting career in that he designs and builds floats for the Rose Bowl, or for the Rose parade that we have each June here in town. And so flowers are his thing for sure.
Well, yeah, that's great to hear that, because there's also a lot of variety on this tour. Like you said, this is different than other gardens we'll be seeing. So we're really seeing a lot of. We've already talked about shade gardens, and this one's tropicals and conifers and Japanese maples. So and your new perennial garden, and then the next visit on that same day is to Iseli Nursery, and they have so much, and you push for that, and they actually don't usually allow people in groups into their nursery, and but you have a good relationship with them, so you got us a visit there too.
So Iseli Nursery is just a gigantic place. They are not open to the public. And so we are very blessed that they are going to let us come see their demonstration garden, which is amazing. And the majority of plants that they sell are Japanese maples and conifers, but they do also sell peonies and some other plants that go well with Japanese maples and conifers. Really a spectacular site. I think everybody will be very excited to see this location. They ship their plants all over the country and in Canada. So in the Midwest, chances are, if you go to a nursery, you'll see some Iseli plants. Or if you go to the East Coast, you will see a lot of Iseli plants in a higher end nursery.
Okay, so we're going to end that day. We have set up special seed to plate dinner at the Side Yard Farm. It's an urban farm in the heart of Portland. And so we'll go to the farm and we'll be eating outside in the barn. So that's going to be really, really special. And the menu, we're developing the menu, but it really looks great. Speaking of meals, on these tours, I mean, we're staying at, we have a 4-star hotel accommodations. All the breakfasts are included. We're going to provide 3 lunches and 3 dinners. So this Side Yard Farm dinner is one of the 3 dinners that we're going to include. Old Germantown Gardens looks like another highlight. Now, I'm not familiar with that. I don't think you are either, Sherri. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, Old Germantown Garden is a huge garden. I mean, you can just walk around all day. But there are a lot of really rare plants in this garden because the person is a plant collector. He's traveled the world, and it's a very eclectic garden. It's not formalized, but they do have water features as well as the garden itself. They have a greenhouse that has rare plants in it. So it's a very large structure, and it's impressive.
Yeah, it looks great. And then we have 2 other private gardens that day. So this is a private garden day. I think we have 4 total on that day. So that's always nice to get that connection with the homeowners and the gardeners, and they give us a tour. And so it's really, really special for our guests.
That's what is very nice with this group tour is you can see gardens that you would not typically be able to see.
Correct.
When you're able to go to a private garden, if you come to Portland, chances are you aren't going to be aware of the private gardens, and you may not even have access to it. So with the group tour, it's really a huge advantage.
So on the last day, we're going to be visiting Lisa Graff's garden, Lux Perennials, and she has this beautiful cottage garden in the just outside of Portland, and she also has a small nursery. We visited there a couple of years ago in the fall, and it was amazing. You don't usually think about cottage gardens in the fall, but hers looked great, and it was really fun walking through with her. We also did a video talking about her color combinations and the plants that she's found that grow well there, and she'll give us a tour and share some of her insights about that. I think, Jack, you can share links to those videos.
Yeah, so when we visited, you and I did a trip there, and we visited Gene and Lux Perennials and Lisa Graff, and we did video with both. And so we have YouTube videos of those, and I'll put the links below for that. So the other gardens that day, Gene, maybe you could speak to those, because again, I'm not familiar with these at all.
Hilltop Gardens, the gardeners there have an interesting garden, but they love art and they create art. And so you'll see a lot of metalworking art in the garden. And so it's more than just plants, it's also metal art. Dairy Creek Garden is, I think you'll be blown away because they have so many interesting things. They have a bog garden with carnivorous plants. They have a prairie garden. They have conifer garden. They have a lake with a natural woods around it. They have a greenhouse. They have a rock garden. They have so many things your head just spins because they have so much to look at. And really, I think a very enjoyable afternoon for sure.
Yeah, that sounds like a great way to wrap up the tour. Again, let me go over the dates. So July 31st to August 7th, there's still spots available. We've had a good response, and so we are starting to fill up, but there are currently still spots available. So there's more information on our website, and you can see the links below for the tour and for the videos. I'm really looking forward to this tour. I mean, if people aren't familiar with the planting or the climate and the growing conditions in the Pacific Northwest, I mean, you'll just be really blown away and jealous of what people can grow up there, right?
That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons so many wholesale nurseries are located in Oregon because the climate is mild enough in the winter that you can grow plants in containers and they survive. And so a lot of industry here in Oregon is based around the nursery trade, and most of our product is shipped throughout the country. And it's because we just have that ideal climate where it's a mild winter and a mild summer. The summers typically do not get very hot, and so the plants just really perform well. Monrovia, which is a big nursery, has a location here. Iseli is a big nursery. There's a lot of very large nurseries that are located here in Oregon.
Yeah. Well, excellent. Well, it can't come soon enough for me. I'm ready to go. I always love going there. So, well, thanks for joining us today, Gene.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Gene.
Bye.
Goodbye.